Welcome to Ask the Mayor. I'm Val Jeffrey, a volunteer producer and member of CMAP TV. CMAP is located here at Christopher High School in Gilroy, where you can learn to use the studio equipment, how to make a TV program, and get involved in your community at the same time. As our training project, the class decided to find out what the community would like to know about Gilroy, and then asked Mayor Don Gage to answer some of those questions. As part of this exercise, the crew will change assignment throughout, so please excuse any blunders whilst we learn. And here is Mayor Gage. Welcome to CMAP, Don. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Val. It's been a pleasure, and I certainly look forward to talking with the community through CMAP here, because it's a way to get out to all the people.
Our first question comes from the studio and James Duesenberg, our access facilitator here. I'm Val Jeffrey. I've just come to CMAP. This is the CMAP Studio, and we're taking a training class here. And I'm with Frank Avila, who's on the camera. And we are going to test the equipment because we're going to go downtown and find some questions to give to the mayor so that he can tell us all about the community. And this is James Duesenberg. James, what is your expectation of us today?
I expect you to actually come out with a great product. You're gung-ho and ready to go hit the town, and Frank is very experienced, and I expect good things.
You will get good things because Frank and I are going to bring you good things.
Right.
We're a great team. And do you have a question for the mayor?
My question for the mayor is, let's talk about what kids can do after school.
Perfect. So, Don, what can young adults do in Gilroy, and is there anything in the works?
You know, actually, that's a really good question. There are a lot of things that young people can do in Gilroy that many of them are not aware of. As an example, the gym out here at Christopher High School, it was half paid for by the city of Gilroy, and we actually own the gym in Sortozano. So there are activities that are going on there. Parks and Recs plays a big part from the city to put on activities for children. The YMCA operates out of Brownell School, and on Fridays you can go over to the library and they have games over there where you can do Wii and a lot of other things. So there's quite a few activities. When I first started, when I was a mayor the first time, I actually started a youth center, and I went to the community, and the community gave me money to pay for one. So working together, we could actually do a young adult youth center anywhere we want, or where we can find a building to do that. So I think that there's activities more obviously in the summertime than in the winter, because we have use of both the Christopher High School swimming pool and the Gilroy Union High School.
Well, Frank and I went downtown, and we have a question from Wayne Maybe. I'm in downtown Gilroy, and we're going to find out what the community would like to ask the mayor. So would you tell me your name and what your question is, please?
My name is Wayne Maybe. What I'd like to know, Mr. Mayor, is what do you envision for the final outcome for our town now? Is it going to blossom, or are we going to die? It really worries me, because Main Street is starting to come back, but not as good as I'd like.
So there you are, Mayor. There's your first question. So, Don, what is your general vision for downtown, and how long will it be?
Well, my vision for downtown is an easy one for me, because being born in Gilroy 68 years ago, everything centered around the downtown. So it was a vibrant community at the time. All activities occurred there. I'd like to see that come back, because the downtown is really the center of any community. We're working very hard to try to do that. We have unreinforced masonry buildings that we need to clean up. We need to bring more businesses to the downtown. So we're working on all those things, and my vision will fix the downtown. I have something that later on, not in this program, but I will be talking to the community about, And I think that we can get the downtown going in the right direction in 3 to 5 years.
Our next question comes from a store owner in downtown, John Franklin. So I'm with a store owner now. Please tell me your name and give me your question for the mayor.
Hi, I'm John Franklin. And the question I have is, what's the progress that you've done, or has Gilroy done, on the earthquake improvement program that you had in place?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Downtown retrofitting. How is that going in general? And also, could you specifically address the interim Center of the Arts building?
Love to. Yeah, downtown has a lot of unreinforced masonry buildings. Some of the owners downtown already fixed up their businesses, retrofitted the unreinforced masonry buildings, had their commercial downstairs, and in the next floor they had living quarters for people. We've fixed several of those buildings. We are also purchasing, we purchased one building which we are going to use as a paseo, which will move people from the backside of downtown on the west side and be able to walk right through from the parking lot into the east side. We also have plans for a second paseo. We're going to look at setting up a revolving account, because the problem with the unreinforced masonry buildings, because they're unsafe, people can't get bank loans. So we want to lend them the money so we can take those buildings down. We'll be partners with them, and then they will be able to fix them up. A developer can come in and do that. As far as the Arts Alliance goes, we're moving forward on that project. They need about $650,000 to set the building up so they can use that and attract crowds, do plays and things down there. They are actually beautifying the area now. They have a nice green grassy area, and within the next year and a half they will have the money to fix the building, reinforce it, put sprinklers in, and all the things that are required by city code.
Do you have a time frame?
I would say 2 to 3 years total completion of the temporary building, and then it'll be longer term for another building, because that's about a $15 to $25 million task.
Let's go back downtown, and I have a question from Carlos. One of the problems we have, and lots of other cities have, is the homeless. And while we were out on the streets today, I met this gentleman, and he has a question for the mayor.
My name Carlos. I was the problem that the homeless and no house is sleep in the Santa Maria and the door. No family here. I was the lawyer for the security. I know too much the time here.
Okay, so this is Carlos, and he has nowhere to live, and he stays at the church down the street, and he often goes hungry, and he is asking, what can the community do to help him? How is the city handling the homeless situation?
It's very difficult to deal with the homeless problem, because we've had a tremendous influx of homeless coming into our community. They're actually being sent down from San Jose. They're saying they're full there, and we almost create a utopia down here. We have the Compassion Center, we have St. Joseph's, who provides food, the Salvation Army, we have the Lord's Table. So folks are coming down here, and we really don't have the facilities to deal with them. In the wintertime, we have the Army, and that only holds so many people. So the chief of police in Gilroy, Denise Turner, is trying to put a plan together, because we're using a tremendous amount of resources, police being the ones to deal with the homeless problem. The way to really fix the homeless problem is to find housing for them. We are building a small number of houses out on Monterey Street, but that's not enough to capture the problem. We have well over 700 or more homeless people in Gilroy that are looking for shelter. They have to have a home. It's in order to get them services, there's a lot of mental illness, there's a lot of alcohol, drug abuse, and without having some permanent status, you can't even find them a job because there's no way to communicate or reach them. So we're working on it. We have to work on it, but San Jose gets the majority of the resources because of the population. So it's almost a problem that's insurmountable at this time.
I noticed that Carlos was wearing a bus pass. Is that issued by Gilroy or San Jose? You were saying he comes from San Jose.
Yeah, we have, when I was on VTA and at the County Board of Supervisors, we reduced, first off, we allowed people to get free bus passes if they were homeless, so we could get them to medical care, get them to services and things like that. The second thing we did is it took them 3 to 4 weeks to get food stamps. We got it down to 3 days. So that was in working with the community. When the downturn came, it made it a little more difficult, but we were still ahead of the ball game. And VTA at the time I served on the board did that within their budget, so there was no additional costs that came there. So you'll see them with passes, and they get a new monthly pass every month to ride free.
The next question, and the one after that, comes from Manu Martinez, and he's one of this class today.
Hi, my name is Manu. I have a couple of questions to ask you, Don. The first question is, what is the city doing to improve the efficiency of our public transportation?
Yeah, transportation is not a difficult topic. We have, VTA provides buses and train service. We have community buses, which are the smaller buses that go in the neighborhood, so they're not as disruptive as a 40-foot bus. The issue that they have is it's all based on ridership. So if you have routes that do not have the ridership, they cannot afford to keep them running. I just spoke to VTA, and they had $12 million left, which they shared with Monterey, and there will be tracks that will come in now to our station downtown in Gilroy, so the train coming from Monterey can pick up passengers, leave them off for Gilroy, and help that. And we're working toward more ridership so we can increase the trains going to where the jobs are in Silicon Valley from 3 trains a day to 10, which will allow for reverse commute. So we work closely with VTA, and because I served on the board for 10 years, I have a good relationship with them, and I'm able to talk with them on issues. We had to put a VTA stop, for example, in the clinic we opened up in Gilroy because there wasn't one there, and they did that for us, and now people can ride to and from the clinic on the bus.
Thank you, Don, for asking this first question. My second question is, what are your ideas about the sustainability in Gilroy?
Your ideas on sustainability in Gilroy?
Well, first, you have to be fiscally sound. We have to make sure that each year we have a balanced budget, still able to provide services without dipping into our reserves, because the reserves are very important. The track that I'm on right now is to get the community involved with us. I mean, everybody expects government to do everything, but they don't like big government. Well, without the community and the folks in this community working with us, for example, the Interfaith Council, we just started that, and we have a majority of all the churches because they provide service which will go on to serve the homeless and clean up the city and do a lot of other things. And that's working together as a community. In fact, today, out at Christmas Hill Park, there's a huge cleanup out there, and there's probably 300 people that are out there pulling weeds, cleaning up, doing all kinds of work. And that's what we need to do, is work together as a community. Bring all the agencies in, our Economic Development Corporation, the Chamber of Commerce, the Gilroy Gardens, and all of those folks together for a single plan. We just finished our retreat. We have a vision, and we folded the Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Development Corporation, and the Gilroy Gardens and the Welcome Center together, so their vision matches the city's vision, so we're all pulling in the same direction. that's going to bring jobs into the community, and all kinds of things that will improve that.
That's great. When I was downtown with Frank, I noticed there were a lot of cars driving along Monterey, which is absolutely wonderful. It's great that people are doing that. But we were wondering, are they stopping? And one question did come up down there was, what is the city doing about the parking situation? Could you address that, please?
Well, I mentioned before that we have one paseo which connects the parking lot behind on Eagleberry Street between 5th and 6th. And that'll allow people to park there, and they walk 120 feet and they're in the downtown. We're going to be purchasing a second building down where the Dick Bruin's old building used to be to do the same thing. The other thing that we're planning on doing, and we're getting information on it right now, is we're going to put a parking garage over where the old police station was. The first floor we have to do to because when we built the library down there, we were short 85 spaces. We're looking at going up 3 stories, which will park almost 400 cars, and that's a very 3-minute walk to the downtown. We also have the old youth center that is right across the street from, it's on Railroad Street, which we have to take the building down because it was unreinforced masonry, and we'll put a parking lot in there which will service the restaurants and things on the corner of 6th and Monterey in both directions. So we're addressing that problem, and I think it will allow people to come to the downtown, be able to park a very short distance. It's within the handicap regulations, so that's all going to be happening shortly.
Will there still be parking actually on Monterey?
There'll still be parking on Monterey Street. We're expanding a little bit there by taking a couple of stalls out so that the businesses can move tables and things out in that area. We'll block them off so you can have outdoor dining for lunches and things like that. So we're being, very forthright in how we're going to do that and provide the parking. 2 stories of the parking garage are paid for out of the bond that was passed by the library. The 3rd story is on us, but we feel that we jump over 100 spaces by going up 1 more floor, and it'd be worth it for the future. I mean, you have to plan for the future. Cities don't go away. Government doesn't go away. So we're going to be growing. People want to come down to City Hall, and we really need that space.
So what's new that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I have a lot of things that are actually new. We are really pushing to bring businesses into town, and we've been talking to several businesses. One business deals with storage of organics, organic products, both fresh and frozen, and it's great because Gilroy is kind of a, you have 152 coming into Gilroy, you have 25 coming into Gilroy, and of course the 101. They're going to build about 700,000 square feet, and they will have 300 to 500 employees there. We also have Harbor Freight that's located here. They're wanting to move to another warehouse. We've had we brought Silva Sausage in here. We have new businesses in the downtown. So we're really looking at what we can do to what I like to call it is maximizing the businesses that we have, because when people come here, they want to know how's the businesses doing. Are they doing well in downtown? We want those business people to say, yes, we're thriving down here. We have parking, we get services from the city, and we work with the outlets. We want to move people from the outlets downtown, and so we'll be working on that too. So when you ask what's new, I think those things are new, and I think that the fact that the city is working with the school districts, working with the community, is something that hasn't happened for quite a while, and we all serve the same people. The school district and the city serve the same people, so it's very important that we all work together for the same common vision and goal, and everybody's coming on board.
So how can CMAP work with the city to help the community?
Well, you're doing a good job today, getting communications out. When we have things that we want to get out into the community, cleanup days, whatever, it's important that we have a resource to do that. We have you know, our cameras at the City Hall, we have our website, but not everybody, you know, you have to have enough variety so people can look online, they can look at the website, but they can also see it on CMAP when we do things within the community, you know, as well as issues, you know, because people need to be notified too. So I think that having CMAP here at Gavilan is a real positive. I mean, at Christopher High School.
We were at Gavilan.
You were at Gavilan. I was over there during the election. But having you here is a real positive. It's like having a junior college, which we do in the city. It's a positive thing for people to see.
That's absolutely wonderful. Great ideas. And I want to thank you for coming and helping us test out this new equipment. It's very gracious of you. And I hope that you'll be here again sometime in the near future.
Well, we were just talking about that, you know, maybe on every couple of months, as we start to progress through the things that we have planned, that we can come back and give the community updates on what we're doing. And, you know, you maybe catch a few people that will get excited about that and want to be part of it. Just as an example, we have Leadership Gilroy. Well, one of the things we're asking the folks that do Leadership Gilroy is that they just don't go through the class. They have to participate in things with the city. I have one student there, and when I say students, they're adults, that tails me right now, that shadows me. And we're going to be putting them in positions where they can take over certain meetings and things like that to get the experience, so that if they choose to be on a school board, a commission, or run for city council, or run for mayor for that matter, they have an edge up because they now understand how things work. And it's a program that's going to be announced very shortly, within the next month, and we're looking forward to those students getting involved, because that was the purpose of it. So we're bringing the whole community together. We're asking people to, you know, if you're really interested in your community and you live here and you like Gilroy, then you got to participate in it, and that means a whole lot of things. You can work, you can give money, you can start things, you can do all kinds of things. So, you know, as a council, we're working very well together, and we're very excited about all the things that are happening in our community today. And, you know, what we really want to do in the end is make this the best community around. And we want people to be proud of this community. We want them to say, you know, I'm from Gilroy, and say it with pride. And, you know, I don't know that we want a whole lot of people coming down here, because it's beautiful down here. If you go a couple of minutes, you're out in open space. We have 50% of the open space in the South County area. And we have a lot of amenities. We're 18 miles from the coast, 45 minutes from the valley. You can just about almost do anything. Championship golf courses, wineries. There's all kinds of things. We have a motel that's planning on coming in here, or a hotel actually, down off of Leavesley Road, on Leavesley. So we're bringing business in here, and they see that Gilroy is a progressive city. They see that Gilroy in the future is a place to come now, because they can grow with us. So I'm very positive about that, and I'm willing to work hard, and I'm willing to come here anytime to let people know what's going on, because the last thing I want is all this buzzing going around and not have the facts. And we want people to work with us. And anytime anybody wants to know some information, they're welcome to call, because I welcome that, to give them the straight scoop.
Yeah, absolutely. And Don, thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
And here's to teamwork.
Thank you, Van, and thank you for asking me today. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. We hope that this program has fulfilled our two aims: to learn how to use this wonderful new facility, and to produce an informative program to help our community. It certainly has been fun. If you would like to learn more about CMAP, become a volunteer and work with others on community projects, or make your own programs with your own team, please contact CMAP here at Christopher High School in Gilroy. The website is www.cmap.tv. Come and join us, and you can do something to help your community. Hope to see you here.